From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the New News. I'm Andrea Lutz. This afternoon, President Joe Biden continues to walk a fine line in his response to the Middle East crisis. While he did tell Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that he supports a ceasefire, he stopped short of demanding an end to the attacks on Gaza. Weijia Zhang reports from the White House.
President Biden was bluntly asked if he would insist on a ceasefire in Gaza, given the escalation of violence.
I'll be speaking with the Prime Minister in an hour, and I'll be able to talk to you after that.
Later, in a statement, the White House said the president reiterated his firm support for Israel's right to defend itself and expressed his support for a ceasefire during his third call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in less than a week. But reaching a ceasefire deal will require help from partners in the region, such as Egypt, which talks directly to Hamas, something the U.S. won't do because it has designated the group a terrorist organization. But a growing number of Democrats want less talk, more action to push for an end to the violence.
I want to see a ceasefire reached quickly and mourn the loss of life.
Republican leaders have a different message.
And President Biden must remain strong against the growing voices within his own party that create false equivalence between terrorist aggressors and a responsible state defending itself.
But critics say Israel has crossed the line of self-defense, pointing to the rising number of civilian deaths. CBS News has also learned the U.S. struck a $735 million deal to sell precision-guided weapons to Israel before all this recent violence unfolded. Several Democrats are expressing concern over the timing. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar saying it would be appalling to move forward with the deal with no strings attached. The White House is not commenting. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
As the fighting drags on, medical supplies, fuel and water are running low in Gaza. Police are investigating vandalism at the iconic Cathedral of St. Helena. Offensive imagery covered the south side of the building. Similar images were found at other locations around the city, and police are searching for a suspect. Billings City Council will ask for more money from taxpayers to address an uptick in violent crimes. Officials will ask for $6.4 million for Billings Police, Fire, and the courts. That would be roughly an additional $96 a year for families. The Supreme Court is set to look at a major case on abortion. Justices will take a case of Mississippi seeking to roll back abortion after the 15th week of pregnancy. The majority of abortions take place during the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. The case will likely be argued in the fall with a decision in the spring of 2022. All right, let's take a break from the news and let's check in on the weather. It is hot in some parts of the state.
It is warm out there. Yeah, a good portion of the state in the 70s and 80s. Not seeing any records fall today, but still warmer than where we should be nonetheless, except if you're on the western part of the state where you're feeling the effects of that cold front. Let's take a look at those temperatures out there right now. Again, most of us in the 70s and 80s. That's here in Montana and northern Wyoming, but off to our west, Missoula's down to 54 right now, in the 60s around Kalispell and Cut Bank, and this is the reason why. There's that cold front. You can see where it is, approximate area where it is right now. And it's going to cool us down even more as it goes over the next couple of days. In fact, some of us will be in the 30s and 40s as we get closer to the end of the work week. And do we have the possibility of seeing some severe weather with this system? I'll let you know coming up here in just a bit.
Miller, thanks so much. All right, President Joe Biden plans to share COVID vaccines with other countries. 20 million doses will come from current stockpiles of Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. The president says he believes America won't be safe until the pandemic globally is under control. Gallatin County health officials have now lifted mask mandates, and now businesses can choose to continue following their own mask rules. MTN's Cody Boyer talks with one Bozeman business and looks at the numbers behind that mask decision.
It's been a signature that's been coming for more than a year, lifting the emergency health regulations and restrictions across Gallatin County by the pen of Health Officer Matt Kelly. But for businesses like here in downtown Bozeman, those few days are an entire weekend of sales and other business. So for them, it's been extra unique. And as the owner of Country Bookshelf, for example, says, among others, it's better safe than sorry.
We figure it doesn't cost us anything to err on the side of caution.
To Ariana Paleobagus and her staff at Country Bookshelf, the rules have become a part of neighborly caution from the front door to the welcome mat.
We've decided to continue requiring masks. Children and some adults still cannot get vaccinated, and so we want to look out for the people who work here and the people who shop here, our whole community.
Her business is not the only one. Walk up and down Main Street, many still bear signs requiring masks upon entry.
We can't know people's vaccination status. We're not going to ask.
A contentious issue. One scan of the comments in one of our stories related to the lifting of face coverings in Gallatin County shows a variety of mixed responses and criticism. Some calling the rule lift words like a joke. Others praising the health department's update. Kelly says the decision comes after 2 weeks of COVID-19 decline.
Consistently, as the board has met, they have worked to take down those rules as the epidemiology has allowed them to do that. Monday, I'm pretty sure we're going to get to a point where we've hit that threshold of 2 weeks under 25 cases per day.
As of Friday last week, the county was down to about 13.5 people per 100,000, and Kelly says about 43% of Gallatin County's eligible population had been fully vaccinated. He also adds that now the health department cannot enforce face coverings. Other larger stores nationwide, such as Trader Joe's and Walmart, also announced that fully vaccinated workers and customers do not have to wear a mask if fully vaccinated. To Paleobagus, a little goes a long way.
That makes all the difference in the world, is that knowing that there are other people who support your decision, even if it's a little unpopular with some people. We're not here for popularity. We're here to look out for each other.
In downtown Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
And the city of Missoula and the Poverello Center are at odds over the city's decision to move homeless campers from a public park. The Missoula Courant reports the city is concerned about sanitation and safety, but the POV says it's concerned about finding other suitable locations. Mayor John Engen says the city is working on a plan. A private medical school that's been eyeing Billings now has accreditation to move forward. Rocky Vista University is approved to build its $78 million campus in the West End. The provost says they're thrilled to move forward. They expect to admit their first class in the summer of 2023. We have more ahead on the noon news today, including how Montana's film industry is looking bright. We're checking in on a new push to build a massive film studio in Missoula. But first, Miller's back in with a look at that statewide weather forecast.